Hey everyone. So over the last 2 years, I fell down the rabbit hole that is miniature painting. What started out as a hobby turned quickly into an obsession, and I think that this is something that everyone should experience at least once in their lives. For me, it's a real cathartic experience. I can understand though how it can be the opposite for some. It is a little stressful at times painting something that small. Luckily there's not a ton that you need to get started, but enough about that. It's time to paint. My first and only stop today is at Casual Dragon Games, where you can get just about everything you need to get started. They got walls and walls and walls of miniatures, and it can be a bit overwhelming, honestly. Sometimes it can be a bit daunting to find a miniature, just due to how large the selection is here. But there's more than enough supplies here when it comes to paint, which is good, because you're going to want fun colors on your fun little guys. As I was getting the film, I began to worry that I wouldn't find anything to pick out. I couldn't find the perfect guy. It isn't until I'm about ready to pack up that I find the guy that I'm looking for. Something about him. I don't know, maybe it was his name. Maybe it's the fact that he's just a weird looking dude. I had to have him. Now, let's get this guy open and get him on our stand. As you can tell, he's made out of metal. I don't know exactly what metal. Maybe nickel? I couldn't tell you. But usually these guys come from a cast and mold, and the metal ones especially, they usually have leftover little bits of metal from the mold they were casted in. So we're just going to take that off. It's going to be no problem. And let's get our alien friend off the stand, because we need to make room for Gulp. And as you can tell, he doesn't seem to quite fit on the stand, which is not good. A lot of different miniatures have different size bases, and they're all not going to fit into this little stand that I have, and that's okay, because there's a solution, and that solution is poster putty. Now that Gulp is ready and secured, we can begin the process of painting our layers. So, the process that I use is called the slap chop method. Not sure why, but regardless, we're going to start by applying some black acrylic paint to the miniature by completely covering it. Also, for this guy, I'm using metallic acrylics, but you don't have to do that. It's just my preference. You don't want to miss any of the little nooks and crannies on this guy. Just really get in there and cover him up. It's really important that we get him covered head to toe in black, because this is going to be our base foundation for the rest of our painting. Alright, now he's looking ready for step 2. Now, step 2 is called dry brushing. We're going to follow it with some gray paint and basically just brush our brush out until there's just a little bit of paint left on it. Don't worry, I'm going to be showing some actual dry brushing in the next part, but we're going to follow them up with some white paint to continue on our dry brushing. As you can see in the video, you really just gotta get in there and brush it all on. Nothing too complicated. Now our friend here is ready for basic detailing. From here, it's really up to you what color you want your miniature to be. I'm also going to be using a more precise brush head for fine detailing, such as this one here. From this point on, it's really just detailing. So I decided to color in the guy purple, as you can see in the video. After the purple, I followed it with a pale gold to color his underside. I thought it turned out pretty good. You can see I'm kind of just dabbing it a little bit and then spreading out. After all that is said and done, we're going to color in his eyes. I went with yellow and a little bit of orange. I thought it looked pretty cool. After all that's done, we're going to take one final look at him before he's ready for fine detailing. You're probably wondering, what am I hooking up the miniature to right now? What is that? Well, this is a jeweler's repair kit device, and I found that it's a really awesome magnifying glass for placing and keeping miniatures in place while you do some fine detailing. This step is super optional. You can be done with the miniature whenever you want, but I needed to color in his webbed toes and hands and his fingernails. Let's get that a bit more centered now for the camera. Now you guys can see his beautiful face. I'm not going to be using my most expensive and precise brush, fittingly called the Psycho, because you have to be a psycho to use something this thin, as well as paint something this small for fun. After all our fine detailing said and done, I'd say we got a pretty good looking guy right here. I think he's pretty creepy looking, honestly, and I think he'd be fun to fight against in any sort of D&D session, or even just to put on your desk and look at. I want to thank you all for watching my video and for going on this step-by-step journey of painting for fun. I'll also be linking in the description of the YouTube video all the products that you've seen, so if you're interested, you can purchase them for yourself, including the miniature. Thanks again for watching.